The following is gameplay from Iron Banner because, I need something in the background of this. This is a video that is taking on a serious topic in the game Destiny 2, and hopefully you guys have seen all the news rage and everything about it and can offer some insight onto the video itself. Hope you guys enjoy. What's up, guys? My name is Rubik's Cube. I don't usually post videos on YouTube. As you can see, I only have one, but I've got some thoughts on a particular topic that has been going around lately, particularly for Destiny's PvP side, and that, of course, is cheaters. Cheaters, blatant cheaters, hacks, no anti-cheat. The meme has come full circle. It's time to discuss as a guy who is, small, doesn't have a lot of people following him, and can give an insight as to what it is in the mind of someone who's not huge on the market. So, the first thing I gotta give is some context on my thoughts. Do I believe everyone cheats? No. I firmly believe that there is a good amount of people in Destiny that don't cheat. And, sometimes in Twitch streams or in clips or in YouTube videos in the future, I may say, oh, this guy's hacking, all that stuff. I say with the hopes that you guys take that with a grain of salt and not crucify any person because of it. I don't ever expect anyone to cheat. I've maybe seen a cheater in this game, like blatantly, 2 times in my entire career of playing the game. Now, have I seen cheaters outside of me playing? Hell yeah. I've seen every YouTuber, every content creator, every streamer. I've seen them all play against cheaters, and I do know that it's a huge problem, so I'm not going to brush around it. I'm going to accept that, yes, this game has a shit ton of cheaters, and I apologize for the language, but saying just a ton is an understatement to what's going on. But I also am not on board with a lot of people doing the witch hunts and stuff. A lot of content creators, and not every content creator, but a lot of them tend to go on witch hunts against honest people. And that's kind of where I want to make my stand known, is that there's a lot of honest people there being targeted by guys that see cheaters on a constant basis, guys that play this game for their job. And it sucks because some of these guys aren't cheating. They're just doing their part, and they're just doing their best to play against guys with higher skill. And I don't want to call out anyone. I'm not here to call out anyone on that front. But the bottom line on my stance against the witch hunt is that, yes, there are cheaters. And when you blatantly cheat, yes, I will report you. But I'm not going to go around and report every single questionable thing, because sometimes it's just down to game mechanics and all this stuff. I can't predict a cheater. Now, with that out of the way, I can give you my entire thoughts of what I've seen so far. And one of the biggest things I'm going to pull up is the interview that was done recently. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. If you haven't seen the interview, it's a really good watch. The streamer of question, which I forget his name, I'll leave a giant little box in front of the gameplay to tell you who his name. He did an interview with a guy that he played who was blatantly wall hacking, and instead of crucifying the dude and reporting him all this stuff, and which I bet you he did after the fact, he invited the guy into a call and interviewed him and pulled some thoughts from him, which, for those of you who don't want to watch the video, let me give you a rundown of what this guy is and why he did it, and then I'll give my honest thoughts of what Bungie needs to do going forward. So the dude made it very clear that he cheats on the sake of revenge against Bungie because of his old account of 5 years being banned for questionable things he said. And his thoughts was, you know what, I I hate you, Bungie. I'm going to ruin your game. And that's, first off, if you cheat, you're 100% scumbag. I'm not gonna lie. You deserve every hate and hate-filled comment, hate-filled message, whatever, coming to you, because cheating never works out at the end of the day, even though it's working now. But eventually, it comes full circle. I believe in a karma-based life, and I think karma will come back and bite you for it. Now, the guy continues to go on and explain his cheats he uses, and one of the biggest ones he uses is wall hacks, and it's a very specific kind of wall hack. Post edit update. I made a mistake in this next part. I apologize in advance. There's a reason why you're seeing the black screen. I started talking about the kind of wall hacks the guy was using and said it was a res box, and it was kind of a summary type thing of what I saw. I rewatched it again just in case I got something wrong here. The reality is the dude used a wall hack that allowed him to see basically your crit spot, and he would have to line up the shot manually in order to secure the kill, but he can see basically your head the whole time. So that's my clear up right here. Back to the video. I apologize in advance. So he continues on to say he pays $25 a month to use this hack, and that him and his friends constantly use cheats and hacks and tools that assist them in this game because it's easy for them to do. And he doesn't go beyond that because he's very cunning, as he says. Now, the whole interview is done with a voice modulator too, so we don't know the guy's age. We don't know the guy's we don't know much about the guy aside from the fact that of what he told us. And quite honestly, I don't care much for the guy itself. I just care about the information he gives. So he continues on saying that friends of his pay more than him, like over $100 a month, for even more blatant cheats like actual aimbots, wall hacks, and other meme-filled hacks that you can use. And they fly under the radar because they're not stupid with using them. Now, Bungie has stated that they have a back-end system that looks at this kind of stuff and attacks cheaters and bans a lot of accounts, but the reality is they don't, because there's a lot of closet cheaters in the game. And I did go on that rant saying that I can't accuse everyone of cheating, and it's hard to do that, but I live that kind of lifestyle on the grounds that, one, if I go around, calling other people cheaters, why, it would look bad upon me when they're not, I take it with a grain of salt and I move on. If I know they're cheating, then I will personally, send some sort of report, but I won't go out of my way to call out cheaters in less than a joking tone, because at this point I make it out as a joke. So he says that, flying under the radar is pretty easy. You can hide you being a hacker by being able to play decently without the hacks itself, and toggling it whenever you want. Now, the one he uses is not easy to toggle, so he has it on all the time when he's using it. But there are some that can easily be, with a click of the button, can easily be turned on and off, and you can't detect that kind of shit. And if you look at some of these guys that are using these kinds of sleeper hacks and sleeper cheats, their stats don't look any different from a top Crucible player. If you play smart enough, and this is not to bring anyone into doing this, because I tell you right now, it's not gonna end well for you if you do cheat. However, do what you want to do in life, whatever. I just believe it's not good for it. But for it to be that easy, and to be able to mask inside normal players and stuff, is pretty bad, and it looks pretty bad for Bungie. So with all that being said now, and that was pretty much the gist of the interview at that point, what can Bungie do going forward? Well, paywall is an understatement now. I think it's too late for a paywall to save trials and other PvP content, because the reality is that even with a paywall, you see guys paying $100 a month to use these tools, and what's another like $10 to them? You know, it's a one-time buy too. $10, and then you pay $100 a month, and you can carry people to the lighthouse and take money from people. I mean, they're making their money back regardless of if the account gets banned or not, and they just move on to their next account. And they can buy these accounts for like $10, $20, and while it adds up, they make more money off of the carries than they do spending on the accounts, on the cheats, on everything in between, you know? So a paywall is not going to help anymore. Will it help subside some cheaters? There'll be some cheaters who might quit just because they don't have the resources or income. They're smaller. They can't, you know, make a living off of it, so they will choose not to. And that'll get rid of, like, blatant cheaters, you know, guys using the infinite ammo, infinite super, fast-firing weapons and such, you know. But the closet guys will continue playing because, again, it's hard to detect them. Slayer Age made a good point in his recent video talking about a front-end anti-cheat. And I think it's time Bungie starts talking to some of these anti-cheat companies. And instead of in-house anti-cheat, they need to go hard on a third-party one, I think. Or the big thing is they need to find guys who either A, have programmed these type of cheats, or have done something similar in the past that have created an anti-cheat system that has good detection. You know, the front end of anti-cheat needs to be there. It's the most important thing right now, is to find something that will no longer be based on reports, based on the numbers, based on the feedback. It needs to be front end, ban first, ask questions later. Because the reality is Bungie is the ultimate law when it comes to the final say of whether something's banned. But they need a detection system that's going to go in, look at things, and the second they detect something, bam, take that account out, take that IP out, take whatever out, and then continue to do that sort of thing. And then that's when the human interaction happens. That's when the appeal process begins. That's when these guys that were not wrong, or that were wrongfully banned, could come in and show Bungie, hey, listen, I have proof that I was not cheating. Can you review my account? And that's when they can have the final say of whether or not the truth is there. Bungie is in a bad place right now with the PvP side of things. There's other PvP things that they can do that really needs to happen, but they're not going to happen now. But the reality of the situation is that a front-end anti-cheat needs to happen. It needs to happen before September drops, because let me tell you, there's a lot of people not playing Destiny right now. And we're only halfway into the Season of the Worthy, which so far has been dubbed the worst content drop of Destiny since Curse of Osiris. We've come full circle again. The game is not in a playable state where people want to play it. It's in a state where there's people playing it because they can get away with a lot of shit. And it's bad for the game. It's bad for the community who defends the game constantly and has to hear from everyone, from every side, talking about how they're too loyal, that the community is toxic when it comes to people criticizing the game. You have these diehard fans that really love you, Bungie, but you're losing a lot of them because you can't fix some core aspects of your game. And there's a lot to be done on the core. But the biggest thing right now, the biggest cash cow for you, is guys in PvP coming in every week to play Trials of Osiris, the half-baked mode that you sent out to die is dying not only because of how half-baked it was, but because you were not ready for the swarm of cheaters ready to go. Now, this video has been long, and I apologize. And quite honestly, I don't know why this was my next video on the channel, but the reality is people need to know this information, whether it be through the big guys or the little guys. You need to do your part in making it known. So, what do I recommend? The reality is that you need to reflect your thoughts with your wallet and with your time, because that's when Bungie starts to see the alarms. That's when Bungie starts to make things happen. And the reality of the situation is, until Bungie understands that we want change, they're not going to do anything. And even if we tell them we want change, it takes drastic measures for Bungie to start thinking about that. And a lot of people have been very critical of them for these past seasons because of their split from Activision. And while I think staying the course of being separate from Activision was the good thing, there's a lot of bad that came with it. And Bungie needs to show that it was not a mistake. And one of the biggest things is to fix something that has players wanting to do since, Destiny 2 arrived. So guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the current situation. Obviously, there's a lot to be discussed. A lot. And quite honestly, I don't know exactly where we can go from here. There will be a lot more Destiny thoughts, discussions, and even just random clips that I want to put up on the channel. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Drubix_cube. I stream very sporadically right now, but due to the current circumstances, you may see me more often on there than not. And you're also welcome to find me on Steam. I have a Twitter. You can follow me there. Don't really post anything, but, if you're very interested in the things that I would like to hear, following is a good way to do that, especially with uploads and streams and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's the end of this video. A lot of talking, a lot of thoughts needed to be said. Hopefully you enjoyed. My name's been Drubix Cube, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.